If I just slam dunk literally everything, I'll do it.
Yep. Yep.
I don't believe that, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Hmm.
I'll
I mean, we're
do.
we're already at the first cross exam. I forgot we already got through revealing
Yeah,
female
yeah.
NASCAR work.
Nastar showed himself, or what the fuck his name is. I love his theme. His theme is great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you start the recording?
Yes, I did.
All
Hello.
right. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb.
What happened last time? It's been a while. That's
Uh,
what's really gonna fuck me over. Is I'm not gonna remember everything that happened. I
Basically.
remember everything now.
Also, like as far as the trial goes, I think Rayfa tried to do an insight, but
Yeah.
it's their
She.
fucking hit their dad.
Yeah.
So the next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand, and lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail. I have no recollection of what happened in the interim, but I didn't kill him. At least I don't think I did. It'd go against everything I believe in.
That didn't explain squat.
For the
Nails.
record, let it be known.
I am attractive.
Yes, everyone remember that the accused's fingerprints were all over the murder weapon, and since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for a third party to tamper with it.
Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Sadmati.
Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there, Your Majesty.
Seriously, Dirk. This is no laughing matter. This is exactly what Garan wanted. To have Dirk try to plead his case only to fail miserably. How low can she go?
Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles, and let it be etched into your soul. See how instead of accepting the inevitable, those fish-brained lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair. Yes, Your Eminence, show me the way.
Yes, mother. Mommy. Now then, would the defense please
Milk,
care with their cross-examination?
Del Taco,
Emma Sky over there just, like, crunching the desk with her fingers. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Paula just checking that like, I'm fucked.
Let's just go down the line. He was struck by a sudden dizziness. Was it because of his illness?
Oh yeah, don't forget about that. He said he's got a fatal illness or something.
Is that something that's been ever happened to you before?
Can't say that it has. Maybe age is catching up with me. I'm no spring chicken after all.
That's not the issue here.
A most cunning excuse, unbefitting an insidious insurgent.
You know, I just realized the horror of living in Japanifornia. You have Japan where everyone lives until they're 800 years old, but then you also live in California where literally everything is a cancer risk.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just like you can't touch anything, but you live to your 800. Anyway.
Uh-oh. A killer who does not recall his crime. How very convenient. Next, I imagine you will plead insanity. You aim to seek a lesser sentence through excuses and subterfuge, do you not? Don't make me laugh, your malevolence. How dare you? I'm merely stating my innocence. I have no intention of offering excuses. It's your baseless speculation I would decry as foolish. You deceitful witch.
Everyone calling her benevolence. She's just like malevolent.
I wonder what that was in the original Japanese. Is it your wish that I should claim your head right now in this very hall? Well, that would certainly speed things along.
Dirk, why don't you let me handle it from here? My client isn't supposed to speak. And if there's anything you need to say, you can say it through me, okay? And I'm gonna stop you from needling the queen.
Next time you have an objection, you'd better have some proof to go with it, Dirk.
The accused will continue with what he does recall of the crime.
Jack shit.
He just says nothing. Stoic silence. Do you recall anyone putting the knife in your hand, Dirk?
Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing from before I came to. You think there might have been a third party in the tomb, son?
Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been in there with you. Stoic silence. You called, Your Eminence? Does she go anywhere without those goons?
Was there a third party in the tomb when you were securing it?
No, Your Eminence. We searched high and low, but found no one of the sort.
And there you have it.
Alright, they did search the place.
Furthermore,
That's not me.
my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way for anyone to escape.
That's right. No one got in or out without our knowledge. Her Eminence's on-site detectives were absolutely flawless. We have swords. We're Fire Emblem Lords. Ugh.
Do you see now? The presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, a locked room mystery. Completely sealed off.
From completing the sentence. Good timing. Hopefully that isn't me. Are you back?
I think her pulling out the yaoi paddle fucked with my internet. Anyways,
Yeah.
completely sealed off.
And it
from
just
the
cut
rest of
off
the
there. It
world.
was really funny. What a waste of time.
How can it be any more obvious? Dirk must be the killer.
Thanks for nothing, gallery guy and fairy. As if our graves weren't already deep enough.
The fairy was the first one. Accused, what do you believe about the possible presence of a third party? Well, based on the situation you presented, I'd say the chances are slim to none.
Dad, you didn't have to agree with her.
Let the accused's statement be added to his testimony.
Very well, Mr. Sabon, if you would. It's like the more we press, the thinner our case gets. Well, let's keep pressing and maybe we'll work out the wrinkles in it, too. Well, at least that's something that we can technically object to. Because if we can't, we're fucked.
You didn't press everything, yeah? Who knows?
Oh, I guess not. We can't prove your innocence without at least the possibility that the third party was there. Well, son.
Find the possible in the impossible, son. That's just what a lawyer's gotta do sometimes. Isn't that right? Right? I get it.
Who, me? Yeah, you could say that. I've seen more than my fair share of trials like that. It'd start with no viable evidence, useful testimony, or any hope of winning. But through cold sweat, desperation, and a little luck, I always manage to pull them off. He, like, does a wink and a smile at Apollo and Athena. We're just staring at him, completely horrified.
Yeah. Right.
The same face.
I can see we are kindred spirits, you and I.
Jeez, taking cases like that must shave years off your life. That were true, I'd be long dead. Find the possible and the impossible. Can I prove that it was at least possible that there was a third party there? Dirk, what'd you see at the scene of the crime?
Let's see, I came to...
You stated that he was as dead as a doornail. How can you be so sure?
It's pretty easy to spot the difference between a soulless man and the soulless shell of a man. His complexion and the amount of blood at the scene made it obvious which it was. Watch your words, or you shall join Minister Inga much sooner than expected. You can bow your head before him and seek his forgiveness there in the Twilight Realm. If you still have a head to bow, that is. Bloodthirsty spider. What happened to you? There was still a little love in your heart 23 years ago. You even used to think of me as a brother. It seems you truly do have a death wish. Is that really all you've got?
Dirk, I'm begging you. Enough of the lip. Just deliver your testimony, please.
Alright, I'll try, but I can't promise anything.
There's an alternate reality of MFE where, you know, our good buddy, a good little boy, fuck, what's his name? Give me a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know.
It has been a little bit.
I don't even know who you're referring to, but...
It begins with an A.
It's an A.
Oh.
I feel like you'd remember all the A names.
I know, right? I just completely lost the A name.
Which A name is it?
Alright, give me a minute.
Give me one detail about the character.
It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Azazel! There we go.
Okay.
That's a funny one to forget. Yeah, there's an
Yeah.
alternate reality where Azazel's father is Dirk instead of currently Dick.
No, that's someone else's.
Somebody else has Dirk as a father. Do
Yeah.
we have any fathers in like the current game?
I mean, we have a few.
We have Sam's, who's a complete asshole. Quote unquote father.
Uh-huh.
The rest of them are dead. I guess Flostia has a father. He's a piece of shit.
There's also, there's also the guy that I traced to Dirk for.
I guess that's true. You know, Jimmy's a dad. Jimmy's an alright guy.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just like, instead of having his dad, who's dead, we have just Jimmy. Actually, I don't know if Jimmy's dad is dead. Probably just doesn't matter.
Wow.
He was also kind of an asshole, so. No recollection of what happened in the interim. A day's passed since the murder. Haven't you remembered anything in that time?
My memory is a complete blank. It's as if that part of my brain has been scooped right out. How very convenient, I repeat for the 80th time. But even if you've no memory of the event, your guilt is without question.
Cool fish.
There is nothing more to debate. You're forgetting one thing, Garan. I have no motive. You lead a band of insurgents that seeks to overthrow the government. I would say that alone is motive enough to slay our kingdom's Minister of Justice.
Oh shit, I forgot about that part.
I've declared countless times that I lead a bloodless revolution. I forbid violence and murder, even if some younger members may have a thirst for blood.
A bloodless revolution, huh? You wouldn't really have a motive in that case. Who are the bloodless revolutionaries who tossed fucking Molotovs in the previous case?
Okay, I don't lead a bloodless revolution, but, you know, that'd be nice, I guess.
It's nice on paper, alright? That was an important statement. I'd like my client to add it to his testimony, so as
Listen,
something
you
else
don't
to
lead a
press.
bloodless fucking government, so, like, you know.
We never claimed we did. Very well then. The accused will please do as the defense has requested, I guess. Me and my ilk. I'm no fan of mages and their ilk. A bloodless revolution. Could you be a bit more specific?
I'm talking about dragging this pompous prosecutor here off her bloody throne. So go ahead, Garan, act all high and mighty now, because it's the last chance you'll get. You still speak of rebellion despite the charges against you. You truly are a fool. I will prove your guilt soon enough and display your head for all of Korean to see. People will forever speak of you, not as a revolutionary, but as the terrorist you are.
That's fine by me.
You're mistaken, your maleficence. It will be you the people will speak. It is you who are going down, as the tyrant who was overthrown by her own people. I wonder if you will still be spewing such nonsense before the headsman's axe.
The gods smile on me. Can you say the same, Imperials?
I'm afraid I'll still be like this in the afterlife, despot.
I know that self-restraint is as foreign as an apple pie to Dirk, but I'd really rather go home than to the Twilight Realm after this. Do you think you get to read Twilight in the Twilight Realm?
That's why it's hell.
You see, it sounds like hell, but then, did you see the one meme I posted?
I did. If it was lesbians, I'd be all over it. I know.
See, I want like another version though. I want like all boys or all girls.
Mm-hmm.
Can you state that you didn't kill him more definitively?
How can I when I have no memory of what happened?
Can you at least state whether or not you're a murderer?
That I can do. I am not a murderer, and I would never kill anyone, no matter the circumstances. And do you have any evidence to support your claim that you did not kill the minister? Evidence? No. Can't say I do. In that case, Yaoi Paddle, you will strike the statement I didn't kill him from your testimony.
Wait. Can't just discard testimony like that. I mean, I'm the one cross-examining the defendant after all.
Hold your prattling tongue, foreign devil. I am the queen of this kingdom. And the queen is the law.
It says right here in the Fairy de Rules.
As such, I need not follow the laws that are in place. I can make and break them at will. People love me.
Henceforth, the accused will refrain from stating I didn't kill him. What?
Sure, whatever. It's the Garan show after all. Same as always.
Amazing.
Though I guess there's no evidence that proves I didn't kill him either.
Dirk, leave the evidence finding to me. Now please, will you stop agreeing with everything the prosecution says?
Alright, I'll stick to the facts from now on. But remember, son, if you truly believe in me, you should be able to prove my innocence. I know you can do it.
He believes I'll prove him innocent, huh? Even with all these inconvenient truths. Is that what he's saying? I think Dirk might be onto something. Even the most disadvantageous facts might point the way to the truth. So don't ignore them. Think of them as food for thought. Don't worry, I know. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I need to remember that, no matter how difficult the facts may be to deal with. If only we could establish the possibility of a third party. Does the possibility itself even exist? We don't have a choice. Proving it exists is the only way to start a real dialogue here. Alright. So this is what we need to hit on.
Yeah, I mean... Unless Phoenix is completely misdirecting you.
That'd be funny. Okay, so what can we do?
It'll be something from the crime scene, probably.
So, how quickly do you think we can prove that Amara's alive?
No, not right now.
By the way, she's alive. You lie. Shadow was in there. We need to get his testimony.
Shadow basketball.
That's all he says when he's in court. What does it mean?
I saw a post that was like, it was like if Shadow was a trans woman,
Oh, yeah.
she would like stare pensively off into the sunset like, am I a woman? And it's like, yeah, that's the character.
It just plays the Shadow the Hedgehog in Turkey over a burning city.
Yeah.
While you can hardly swallow. I guess we could go in on the bloodstain. That's
Yeah, I
something.
mean, it's an unidentified bloodstain.
It's not nothing. We don't know whose it belongs to.
Whose blood? Dirk's just like, oh yeah, I kept a vial of some random blood on me. And
Well,
it
yeah, I
shattered."
vomited blood. Let's start there. It's something. Your Eminence, I'm afraid this trial will not go exactly as you anticipated. Because I could show how there might have been a third party at that tomb. Are you familiar with drones?
Oh, how very fascinating. Go on, I do so love a good fairy tale.
We did a luminol test at the crime scene. And we found a blood stain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I will remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Fay were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped up by someone. What it is? But who would have done such a thing? That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped out the blood and why? Well, thinking about it logically, it must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime.
Oh, and to whom do you suppose the bloodstain might belong?
Your sister! Oh shit, wait, maybe that was a little... The bloodstain belongs to... How quickly do I want to go off the fucking rails? I don't know if we could say it's... Like, how many people are in this fucking room? Was it like a clown college, or is it just 3 people?
I mean, what's helpful right now to prove?
Just saying it's the killer, I'd say. Because if we could prove that there's a third person... Yeah, proving Amara exists already is a little too early. The bloodstain belongs to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Inga. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it up. I say this because we know for a fact that the Justice Minister fired his gun in the tomb. Ah, right, that's right. His gun looks really stupid.
You have the memory of a flea. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This, too, is a known fact.
But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there.
Very well, then, tell me this. Where was this third party hiding?
Oh, the crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So if there was a hiding place, it had to be somewhere no one would dare look. Somewhere no one would dare look, huh? Let's have your answer, defense. No, where could the third party have been? In the sarcophagus. I love how it just zoomed in right on it.
Uh-huh.
You didn't even think. There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard, and that would be the sarcophagus. Inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus.
Copagregus. Let's not get demonetized.
Even now, it's locked up tight. That name was really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
No one would find you if you hid in there. I'm told that it's temperature controlled to preserve the mummy within. And she's a mummy, alright. But if someone dressed warmly enough, get it because she's my mom.
Yep.
But if someone
No way to
dressed
get
warmly
executed.
enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege! Surely the perpetrator of such a foul deed would be cursed. But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. True, the guards would be so scared of being cursed they wouldn't even touch it. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines. Well, now, that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. The defense requests a DNA test on the bloodstain. And then we'll just see who this real killer is. Hey, your country does, like, really fast bloodstain testing, right?
Bow your head and kneel, lawyer.
Yes, Mom.
So your head may be parted from your shoulders.
Huh? But the trial's not even over. The gust bellows.
How soon you forget. You are already on the headsman's scaffold. As such, I could order your beheading at any moment.
All I did was request a DNA test.
There is no need to request such a test. It would not be for the very best. Royal Guard, bring it forth now.
Here you are, Your Eminence. This'll put him to rest.
The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed that the blood is of the traitor, Dirk Sadamati.
What? But Dirk wasn't injured. So where'd his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dirk's illness. Still, there was a lot of blood. Could he have really coughed up that much? And did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dirk, is it really that bad?
Ah, shoot. You got me.
Thanks, Dirk.
Pay attention, horned devil, for this case has already been solved. You claimed that this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not?
Yeah, about that.
Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, defense?
Yeah, I guess I did. After she steered you in that direction, that is. I fall right into her trap.
Do you see now the folly in opposing the very embodiment of the law?
Yeah, it's rigged.
Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. A third party at the scene of the crime. It's beyond the realm of possibility.
No! Praise be to Queen Karan! Her Eminence's legal tactics are beyond compare. I hate to say this, but she really got us good. She's playing FE9 on Nightmare difficulty.
Oh.
With Rolf.
Oh. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it.
I bet she plays FE9 Nightmare and gets all strength and speed level ups on Mia.
That's the official statement of the government, but that's just like how they said that Kim Jong-un bowled a perfect game. Like, no, he fucking didn't.
You see the actual files of her Mia, and it's just like 8 speed.
It's like, wait, why is her Mia so high level? What? Therefore, whatever.
Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer's still in there? No, that's just ridiculous. But maybe...
I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening, Dirk Sadamati, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt?
Coughed up blood. Clearly he's evil.
Checkmate. Has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder.
No, it can't be. Dirk would never.
There must be some kind of mistake.
I'm sorry I failed you, frog guy.
The defiant dragons and their frog sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Garon allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, she has effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we have an even bigger problem.
And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions.
That's the book. Throw the book at him.
Now I shall pass judgment upon the criminal Dirk Sanmati.
What's this? You shall pass judgment? But your eminence, is that not my role?
Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. Gonna cry? Pee your pants? Maybe shit and cum? As Queen of Crane, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused.
She got us. Wait. They didn't even give me a chance to rebut!
Know when you are defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I am willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me.
Quick, Apollo. Do that dance you always do. What?
It's like the monkey dance from Mother 3.
If he had the bluff, we gotta keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. He pulls out a revolver and shoots someone in the audience. There! See, I could have done it too. Shit. How am I supposed to do that? Why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga's murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like, if our assumptions are all wrong? Well, it just might work. Well, don't keep us waiting, defense. Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we could be asking ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb?
What nonsense is this?
Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. I mean, the question before us is, when was Minister Inga really killed? I say it was before Dirk entered the tomb. Isn't it possible that, before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Mr. Inga was already dead? Well, that certainly would make it possible for a third party.
Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means...
Yeah, you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third party committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly does make some sense. So far, so good. This might actually work. She's glaring at me.
Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction.
Yes!
Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain.
This is like asking your mom, like, Mom, can I play video games now? And she's like, I suppose. Yes! After you do your homework.
Bailiff! Summon Rayfa. Surely she has recovered by now.
But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore?
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Feel free to advance the dialogue if you want, or you can wait. I don't really have a preference because I've seen this before.
I guess I'll do a little bit.
I hope you're feeling better, your benevolence.
Must I perform the divination seance?
What? Oh, no, we merely require your testimony this time.
How could my testimony be of any value?
No, your benevolence?
Princess Rayfa seems awfully depressed. She's acting like her dad died or something. To what she's been through, summoning her again was like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. Hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sadmati, may I ask you something? Of course, your benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me?
From where did you hear such a thing?
From Mother. And only yesterday. Rayfa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child.
I see. Be it as it may, your benevolence. It has no bearing upon our trial here today. So there's no need to let it trouble you.
I know. Garan told Rayfa about something other than Amara's status? Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rayfa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb.
Did I miss any funny jokes?
No.
But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you?
Yes, I am ready to testify.
Very well then, your benevolence. The testimony, if you please.
Bing bong, bing bong. What Rayfa witnessed. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then at about 2:45, I saw a barbed head in the company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. Your second floor veranda, huh? Oh, she must be talking about that house facing his private residence. So that's the location from where you saw your father? At about 2:30? Yes, and shortly after that you people arrived at the royal residence.
So after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered?
The tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband.
Or so she'd like us to believe.
Now hear me, you useless lawyer.
That's me.
Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head.
Hey, Phoenix, how come all the prosecutors get weapons, but we don't?
Forgive me, Your Eminence, but first let us allow the defense to question the witness.
Seriously, like, all the prosecutors get, like, wind weapons, or, like, hawks, or shit, and we just get, like, our fucking fingers. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor veranda. So this is where we're gonna present about the dog. Shadow. Basketball.
Perhaps.
Is it possible you missed seeing someone pass through? No, my veranda has a commanding view of the entire grounds, and I saw no one. But that doesn't seem right somehow.
Do not underestimate my daughter. She may be lacking elsewhere, but her eyes are the finest.
lacking elsewhere. Talk about a mother I'd never wish on my worst enemy. She needs Nana now more than ever. So no one entered the tomb after Inga went in at about 2:30? And no one was seen leaving it either. But if the murder occurred before 3, then Rayfa should have seen the killer going in or out. Well, we'll just have to try and get as much info out of her as we can. Did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. There was? Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of its usual color. He screamed and he was looking pale? What do you suppose happened? I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream. Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the Queen.
It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm.
Sorry, that was rude of me.
Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important?
Yeah, whatever. Add it. I actually don't know how that helps. I guess I'm curious what it was. I mean, unless the dog... I mean, he probably saw Mara. What do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? I didn't see anyone else. Just my father. That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her? Your benevolence? Yeah. This incident was a real shock to us all. It must have been really terrible for you. But I wanted to let you know I know how you feel. Please stop, you presume too much. It's times like these that you need something to take your mind off things. How about we all go on a picnic together or something? I need no sympathy from you. Go on your little picnic alone, hornhead. Well, that didn't go well. Apollo, you have to take a more aggressive approach with people like her. Yeah, he's probably right. Now back to my testimony. Ray, if I answer the question, I'll kill you. A little too hot, Apollo. Your benevolence. Let's have some details. The more the better. The details, you say? Yes. For example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well? Is that a yes or a no? Foreign devil. I'd been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if only I had stopped them then. I think you've struck a nerve. Or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Still, my last statement seemed a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, your benevolence. Here we go. Because... Shadow basketball.
That's true, Shadow Basketball.
Yeah. There's all this. This is all a little unexplained here. Your benevolence. You're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Rayfa, but you're not gonna like this. Oh, I see what he says. You're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that, at around 2 p.m., his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when this little fellow stole this hat from someone. That's Nana's. I mean, nothing. Never mind.
You fool of a daughter.
Seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have had it in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you have to have seen Nana sometime after 2 p.m. yesterday. Oh, no. Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw. Ugh. It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana. And I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence. I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place? Because, my mother told me not to? What? Would you care to explain, Your Eminence?
I requested she withhold said information, for it is of no relevance to this case.
You don't get to decide. Here's my book.
If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand.
Oh, I will. Your benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana. Alright. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran in to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down to the courtyard. Wait. That means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard. Yes, but only for a moment. This is a crucial bit of testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you even knowing. Your benevolence? Are you sure no one else was there? Oh, yeah. She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was... she was gone. Gone? Yeah, and I never saw her again after that. Any idea what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up. You are 14. But how could Nana simply disappear without Rayfa while Rayfa wasn't looking? Rayfa must know something. The only question is what.
I'm gonna refill my water real quick. I hope there's not an immediate line from the Queen.
Yes. Why do you suppose Nana disappeared? Even an educated guess would help. For example? For example, maybe she got fed up with you acting like a spoiled child. You know, something like that. Such impudence! Nana would never leave me merely for acting spoiled. You're not even gonna deny your behavior? In any case, it seems like I was wrong. Moving right along. Do you have any idea why that dog was in the courtyard? No. She brushed that off real quick. Could you please think a little harder? Those puppy dog eyes will not help me recall something I know nothing about, Hornhead. Puppy dog eyes. Apollo, we already know the answer to your question, remember? Oh, right. And it really has nothing to do with the case. Rayfa must know something. Haha, I clicked on both the wrong answers so Emily would have time to return from her water break.
It was on purpose.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to? What do you mean? Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. And it just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment. No. Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can roll it out. It sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder, and that seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rayfa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rayfa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean... First my father and now Nana? These were the people I trusted most. How could this be?
Do not heed their lies. Lawyers are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb, that much is certain.
How can you be so sure?
When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed cur spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rayfa?
Yeah. Yes, it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes...
The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. And if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga.
Take her shoes off? Huh? Well then... That's right. That's
right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. It was kind of my bad because I had to mute for a sec because I felt a sneeze coming.
Yes.
So I gave pause. Also, sneeze didn't. I hate when like you feel you need to sneeze and it just
then you
doesn't
just
happen.
don't. It's like, god damn it.
Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters.
Scandalous. How do you know?
It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana.
That's right. Edgeworth and I did see some shoe prints in there. Bang.
Now do you understand? Nana could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination.
Another glorious deduction! All hail the genius that is His Eminence, Queen Garan. It's Her Eminence. Oops. Bow down before glory, witness lawyer. We forgot that you're not NASCAR for a second. Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but... Mr. Wright? Your benevolence, what time was it, though, when the dog attacked Nana? I believe it was about 2:15 p.m. I see. Apollo, if Nana entered Inga's private quarters at around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... I know what you're getting at. Yeah, that might explain the scream.
Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream?
Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because... he saw a ghost. Maybe he saw a ghost. Maybe even a bunch of ghosts, like from all the people he sentenced to death. Ghosts? Really? Sure. And they'll be back tonight. The spirits of the dead unable to rest in peace. If you're not careful, Your Benevolence, they might curse you too. Stop, please! I'll never be able to sleep again! You seem awfully frightened for a princess who communicates with the spirits. Apollo, don't you think you've teased her enough? Come on, let's think this one over again. Yeah, you're right. He was attacked by Nana. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime.
Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in the tomb. Or are you suggesting that the body was moved?
Do I think the minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility exists. Considering the fact that the body was found in the tomb, I'd say there's a possibility.
What utter nonsense. Rayfa had been watching the courtyard. Yet you would suggest that someone could have transported the body unnoticed.
You have a point there. In that case, I'd say there's no way that the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. Why'd they even ask? I understand the scream was in reaction to Nana's attack. But Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how these two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just, well, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Nana in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb.
I see. On the one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it's decidedly implausible.
Prosecutor Sanmari, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of? Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous. So, we could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed.
Oh my! Are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back?
Well, yeah, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Nana with a knife, let out a scream, and while he turned his back from her to flee... Right, and that's when she was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water? Yeah.
How dare you bore me like this?
Huh?
You are a humorless moron spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel.
I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence.
Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing.
He is the whole circus, Your Majesty.
Your Eminence. Ha!
I'm pretty sure that this is violent execution. Nana.
You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you had been stabbed in the back, but a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain.
Now, hold on. Can you not make me feel excruciating pain?
Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain.
Post del Taco! Please stop! Oh, no, it has a point. Only most people would notice a dagger in their back. Ow. Yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Paul, take another look at the court record. Alright, there must be something that explains this. Here's the reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that.
Oh, very well. Please present your evidence.
Shock. It's painkillers. Those are my father's painkiller shots.
The defense will explain the significance of this evidence.
Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain anyway, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence.
You can't mean...
Minister Inga was stabbed in the back, close to where he is usually injected with painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible he hadn't noticed he'd been stabbed. What?
What's this? Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back?
Yep. I am your majesty. So then, when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him? I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well. Yeah, the knife was there. It was just plunged in so deep you didn't notice it under the cape. Good thing Nana thought to lift up the cape before she stabbed him.
I mean, if he's applying the painkiller, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Nana in his private quarters. Oh, Kanka.
Holy mother of Kurain! Are we dealing with the living dead here?
Well, technically, he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife, dropped dead from blood loss. Nana killed my father? There must be some mistake. The defense would like to call Nana to the stand.
You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever.
Well, there's no real proof, but...
What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave.
Now who's the spider? I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now? I'm sorry, Rayfa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nana's involved in this case one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Well, there's no turning back now.
You fool of a lawyer. I know why you are so desperate to prove the accused innocent.
You do?
Yes, because he faces public execution if proven guilty, as shall you under the stipulations of the Defense Culpability Act.
Ah, she got me.
From the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives.
Yep, that's me. No. The simple fact is I've always believed that Dirk is innocent.
Bah, still you cling to your pretense. Very well, I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit that the accused is guilty, right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and you will not be subject to execution.
This is some sort of joke.
Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. And with the wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate.
She wasn't kidding when she said that she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong.
Forget all that has transpired in our kingdom, and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer?
If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? Abandon the defense.
I have no idea what happens if you click that.
Probably nothing. Probably, like, Phoenix goes, Apollo, you dumbass. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Phoenix. Arizona. Nice try, Garan, but it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't kowtow to threats like that, your eminence. Good move. Except it's missing the cleave part. You know what I love about the Dark type? They're like, alright, we have this cool move called Feint Attack. Everyone like it? I know we changed its name like 30 times, but everyone likes it, right? And everyone's like, yeah, it's an alright move. Alright. What about this cool move we gave to this impotent fucker over here? It's pretty good. It's 60, it's like 65 base power, and everyone's like, yeah, that's real cool. And then like Gen 9 rolls around like, hey, look at this new one. We added a Bite Sharp evolution. Look, we gave it to him again. It's called Kowtow Cleave. And everyone's like, you just made the same move 3 times. No. It has like +5 base power. Like, you already did that. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so... Don't worry, I'm with you, Apollo. To the bitter end if need be. Well, I can't say I'm used to it. This isn't exactly my first rodeo.
But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too.
And you
this is in
deserve
the
it.
past before I hated you, so I feel pretty bad about that. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me?
I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it.
Wow, Albie used to be such a nice kid. What the fuck happened?
You're what the fuck happened, you piece of shit!
Guilty! Guilty!
Just keep
Execute
on
'em!
fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me.
Objection!
You nincompoops. You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dirk's innocent. That's why. And besides, trials exist to give the truth the chance to get out in the open. You do know that even if he is somehow proven innocent, I'm just gonna fucking kill him anyway. I accept those terms. Can't give up on that just because you're afraid of some punishment. Even if that punishment is death, does that not frighten you, Hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. Ugh. Boy, how do you think Athena's been feeling this whole time? Hey, Athena, is your, appointment to get your kidney removed, ready yet?
He just turns to her seat and it's empty.
I guess she got called. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. Can't just abandon that. And besides, I'm a legal immigrant here. I have my passport and everything. And she's not an immigrant. It's just a visitor. Duty you're willing to die for? I guess he's kind of an immigrant. Kind of.
I mean, I think he's a citizen.
Kind
right?
of? I
was
think
born here, right?
He wasn't a legal citizen. Dirk kind of brought him over. I think that was established. And yet Duty. It's a heavy burden, all right. Rayfa looks like she's really struggling.
Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein.
I forgot you were in this game. I wonder if I'm even up to the task.
Well, I got fucking Justice for All again, so...
Justice for All and, kidnap. Not only... Actually, all Justice for All. She also got accused of murder in Justice for All.
Yep. I think she gets accused of murder at least once in every game that she's in. Right?
I don't... In 3, I don't think she was accused of murder.
Is she not?
No, I don't think so.
What
case would she be accused of murder in the 3rd one?
Oh, I guess... Huh. I could have sworn she was.
No. 3rd game is...
Yeah, I mean, it's like 3 of them... Oh, no, yeah, in the last trial.
In the last trial, she was accused of murder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I guess she was, kinda, yeah. Alright, fair enough. God damn it. And then she leaves until this game, and yeah... How is she allowed in any country?
Very well, then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act or the DCA, Detectives Comics Anonymous Comics, then I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit I see no grounds for doubting the accused's guilt.
Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect.
Do we have anything like that?
Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or shall I have the executioner start his preparations?
If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. And we have this nice sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. I'd say that the new evidence indicating a different suspect does exist. Of course, I have some new evidence.
Oh, do you now? Then come as close as you'd like. How very interesting.
Why doesn't she sound the least bit concerned, and why is she quoting JoJo? I'm not quoting JoJo. I'm quoting our country's famed anime, Go-Go.
Oh, so you're a chime. Ting.
No, I can't let her get to me. I just have to keep pressing forward. This new evidence points to a different suspect. That would be something along the lines of the chat. You know, what the fuck was this photo again?
Albie took it, I think. In the palace, being like, look, I saw the queen channeling. Isn't that cool?
Ah. Okay. Probably something to do with the clan. Amara. Just like the entire first sentence is such a trip.
Uh-huh. Have you seen that post that's like, what if you were dating, what's his name? Gollum? What if you were dating Gollum and you went home to meet his parents, but him and his family the whole time just talked and acted like normal? And then somebody's like, the start of this post, imagine you're dating Gollum, what is an insane thing to read, and the following, you go home to meet his parents, was even more fucked up.
But they're still super normal. Oh, hey, Gollum. Is this your new significant other?
Yes, father.
I don't think this really helps us point to a new suspect.
No, not really. It's a whole different crime. Wait, let me remember what Dirk always told me. Son, if I give you a cast of my nipple, you have to present it in court. Wow.
This is relevant information, Apollo.
Yes. I stood by those words for years. Son remembered my cast nipple speech.
Wait, I said that shit? Think I was drunk, son.
Yeah, this isn't blood, it's actually sherry wine.
Yeah, you know how it is. Daddy one drinky.
For a second I read that as my beloved father. Like, Apollo wouldn't say that. He isn't beloved anything. So this isn't her private abode.
Yeah. Let me know if you want a nudge in the right direction.
I guess part of it is that, like, at 2 p.m. all this shit was happening, but this says at around 2 p.m. So, like, how'd she know?
Yeah,
that
I
some
mean,
of this
that's
stuff
where
happened?
that's where like the queen was in the palace at 2 p.m.
Yeah, but she
Unless it's photoshopped or something.
knew a lot of this shit was happening. It's also possible that this is Maya and not the queen, I guess.
I mean, it's not really a super, you know, blatant photo, right?
And he's saying that it was a channeling, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just Amara.
Yeah. Also, if it was channeling, I mean, you know, we've seen that channeling can make you look entirely like someone else. That said, that's not it right here. You would claim this evidence proves the existence of a different suspect.
Wait, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting. She was supposed to go, "What? Why do you have that?" So, you know, if you don't make that reaction, just, like, don't say anything so I don't get any penalties, okay, Garan?
Oh.
Your evidence, are you saying this piece of evidence doesn't do anything for you? Do you want to know what does things for me, Apollo? Yes.
Executions. It appears to me that you chose that evidence at random,
You're correct.
in the vain hope you would learn something from my reaction. Is that not correct?
Wow, this is the most blatant statement I think I've read in the entire series. Me
Your
presenting the
Majesty.
2 pieces of evidence at the end of Justice for All.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they take a bit to have a different reaction, so I
Well,
got
I
fucked.
was just shot, so...
Well, I was just shot.
For shame.
Sorry. Time to rethink that one.
So
the new
evidence doesn't exist. I'm just gonna tell you now that you did that.
Such evidence does not exist. Guilty.
It's like I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick one if you're not like on the screen for an hour.
Usually
but I'm not
when
gonna,
it lets you pick no, that's
Then,
when
yeah.
I just default the no.
just as I thought. I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence that allow me to claim your head.
Glad I didn't walk head first into that one, other than the one time I did that. So what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nana killed Inga. This trial's over, and so are we. Our goose is cooked. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need? Even without evidence? You know, a key means of obtaining testimony here in Korean?
Bribery.
Violent threat? Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting... Certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try. Your Majesty? A crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case is yet to be taken into this trial. But I'm positive I can back up our claim with this one step.
You mean you'll be able to prove that Nana killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that?
With the help of a certain someone.
You need help?
From someone?
Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But I suppose I must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth?
Trucy Wright. Aw, you need me, Apollo. That's sweet. Yeah, we're gonna need Inga's help.
Yeah, I killed him.
You require help from that individual?
He's fucking dead, idiot.
No, what I'm saying is, let's all come together on this one. If we all think it through as a team, there's nothing we can't figure out. I thought it was selecting Inga so I could channel him. It's me selecting Maya, isn't it? God fucking damn it.
Do you want me to confirm or deny that?
We don't need you to put our heads together to see how far you're reaching defense.
But we can literally, like, call Inga and ask him. Can't we all just get along? There's something we've yet to confirm in this case, and to do that we need...
No tongue wagging.
No lollygagging. I don't think it's Rayfa, so I think it's Maya. Right?
Look at her smile.
I guess we could call Nana, but she's not here.
Yeah, I don't know where she is.
Rayfa can't do the channeling because she's fucked in the head.
Maybe she got over it.
You think? I think. I guess Maya's knocked the hell out. All right, Rayfa, help us.
What that's?
Me?
Gungaga.
Here in Korean, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments, but that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. Well, if you're right about this, Rayfa's power should enable her to see the very moment Nana stabbed Inga. It'll be hard to watch your father's murder, but it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence, we need you and your power. You need me?
Wretched simpleton, did you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time, or is it your goal to make her collapse again?
The princess said she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there might be a problem with handing down a verdict without one.
Oh, indeed. It would be problematic. Under Coroni's law, seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
I ignore that rule.
Well, that sucks. Yikes.
Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall.
Huh?
As ruling sovereign of Corrine, I proclaim the following.
Is she writing with her fingernail? What the fuck?
Henceforth, the divination seance shall be optional.
What a how'd she even do that? Does she have like a pen surgically inserted into her fingernail? That's awesome.
I used blood.
What? She has the power to do that? She just rewrote the law with a flourish of her hand. Mother, I do not wish for the trial to end like this. It is as the defense said, I must not neglect my duties simply because I'm afraid. I shall go through with it this time. I will conduct the seance once more.
Rayfa, do not be fooled by his lawyerly guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death.
Me and my lawyer best friend fights me with guile and Street Fighter. But Hornhead needs my help.
Rayfa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in a most piteous fashion.
Okay.
Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For has not the barbed one there overturned them more than once?
Oh.
You cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, begone! This sacred hall of justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess.
Worthless? Wow. How can she say that to her own daughter? So, Mother, you think me worthless?
Objection!
Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she's even made the attempt. Bitch.
What was that?
Nothing.
Very well, horned devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give my consent.
Dude, really?
However, should Rayfa fail once more, you two and the accused shall all be executed on the spot.
Well, you just love making up bullshit as you go along, huh?
Yes, I do.
Come again?
This is proving to be far more entertaining than I had anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? My ancestors are smiling upon me, Imperial. We already made that joke.
Let her go
Will you
home
wager
with
your
her
life
words.
and call on Rayfa to perform a divination seance?
Bang. I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. If you say you can't do it, and if you say you can do it, then I believe in you. Hornhead, I do not understand. If I fail, you'll be put to death. That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I know you collapsed during the previous attempt.
Just had to. They were like, we put all this budget into the, like, animation here, so. He's dead.
Can't imagine how terrible it must have been for you when none of us otherwise reacted to you collapsing.
What? You didn't react?
No, we all just stood at our tables and sort of stared.
we all were so worried about you.
But despite that, you were willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction, and that courage. My courage?
Ah, so she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance.
What the fuck?
But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right, and that's a bet I'm willing to take.
But it is as Mother said. I've erred in my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
Bless you.
I wouldn't take stock in those words, your benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all.
Huh?
In the trials I've been a part of here in Karain, I would have never proved my client's innocence without your seances. Because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provided served as vital leads to finding the truth.
Vital leads? My seances?
So please, your benevolence, try to perform the divination seance once more.
I...
Rayfa, stop this madness. It is for your own good.
She says as she takes a sip from her Mother of the Year mug.
You are ill-prepared to face your father's death. Go, leave this sacred hall at once.
No.
What did you say?
I said no, Mother! For I am the royal priestess of Karain!
And she's making the Albie face.
Yeah. I have no need for you now.
If you do not need me, Mother. Hornhead and this Hall of Justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. It is because of him that I now understand. The divination seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it no matter the risk.
Your benevolence.
Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth. But I began to have my doubts after Barbed had disproved the insights it offered. And now I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Nana. I believed in them above all others. But I finally know now. I know what I must trust and do. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Karain should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials towards the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk from it again. And now that I'm super confident and awesome... Barbed Head, get over here and take off my robe. I still can't do it.
That right there, your benevolence, is a crock of shit. It's the product of what you learned in your struggles so far. The truth that you've realized with your own strength.
As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through.
Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct the seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that it might reveal something you find inconvenient.
Ah, guards, kill her.
What the fuck? That's your daughter.
Whatever.
I don't care if you hate me. She says as she eats like a Del Taco hot dog.
You're right. Nahida, this is very good. When did
She
I
likes
say it
Del
was
Taco.
good?
Get her.
I said it was god awful. It's just cheap. Oh,
It's not cheap.
Mother, I'm done letting you have your way. That's the problem. It's not cheap and it's not good. I'm done letting you have your way.
Rayfa. You would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen.
Do you know how old she is?
What, like 8? 9?
Though I'm scared to see my father's death.
Am I close?
I must face my fear.
That is what Hornhead has taught me here today. Rayfa.
My final guess,
I am the royal
he's 11.
priestess, Rayfa Padma Kurain,
Oh my god, she took it off herself. Wow.
and I am prepared to face my father's death.
It's just revealed that she killed him. Oops. Forgot about that part. Your Eminence. It seems the princess is more grown up than you thought.
12?
For a second, I thought I was gonna say, it seems the princess is more grown up than you. Rafe.
Rayfa.
Well then,
13, right?
let us proceed with the divination seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. What are Inga's memories are gonna show us?
I think I overcorrected. 10. It's 10.
She's 14.
What?
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped.
Let Mother eat rocks.
O dance of devotion,
How did she
guide
know
the
my
victim's
favorite
soul
snack?
to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Alright, she's doing the seance. Everyone leave.
They're just all getting lunch.
I mean, the queen said Del Taco was great, so, you know, who are we to deny her?
That's true.
I still think Maya could have done this just fine.
Yeah, I wonder. It would be interesting if in Ace Attorney 7 they wanted to keep this mechanic, but they didn't want to make people go to currying for trial, so they were just like, Maya, you do it.
I mean, it could just be possible that she's like, I'm visiting you, barbed head. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing here?
Assuming she doesn't fucking die by the end of this game.
I don't think I've ever played a Nintendo game where they killed a 14-year-old child. Have you? Oh, actually, I guess Mother 3.
Yeah, I mean, he was younger than, he was younger than 14.
He's actually pretty close to 14, was he? Like 13, 12? Actually, he's older than Lucas, isn't he?
Really?
He's older than Lucas, so he might actually be 14. I think they're 13-year-old kids.
13, apparently.
Okay.
I don't know if that's canon or if it's just someone's interpretation, though. I don't know if they actually have canon ages.
In Mother 2 they do. So, in the Japanese version, Ness, I believe, is like 11 or 12, and Paul is like 1 year older. And then in Earthbound, in the American version, they just aged everyone up to 13. That's some good-ass wine. Man's voice.
Yeah, that is a good ass wine. What do you mean wine? This is a kid's game.
He
It's
didn't run
just-
anywhere. He just got fucking shanked. Why does he have no face? That's terrifying. That didn't help at all. Rayfa, you suck. What in the... A faceless being? What the heck? His face, it's just like... the picture of the founder. That would actually be terrifying.
Mhm.
It's like No Face from, Detective DC Comics.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see. Oh, Father, what was it? What was it you saw? Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw?
Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed.
Very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for planning a coup?
The divine wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, we're ever grateful for your blessings.
Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. Also, you know she has a face, right? It's just not, like, portrayed.
Yeah.
You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. That laugh. Who does it belong to, and why are they laughing?
Who knows? Though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband.
Uh-huh. But that figure didn't even have a mouth.
Well, now there's no face, and he still laughs.
Oh, fuck. I just outed myself as a laugher. I think we're done here, lawyer.
How so?
You claimed that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters, and, feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead. You already forgot about that, huh? But this seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb, and he felt great pain, no less.
Oh. That.
Hey, why don't you do a save just in case things, like, break?
Yes. Therefore, maybe...
As I asserted all along,
Book.
it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb.
Me going to college classes, lifting my textbook and putting on the fucking desk.
True.
Boy, it's filled to the brim with edits that for some reason forced me to rebuy the book even though it adds half a page. $200, please. Everything just backfired big time. Wow. Garan has the devil's own luck, doesn't she? You know what I just thought of? We live in the age where, like, we can just, like, do game updates.
Yeah.
We should just, like, do that, right?
About what?
We should just have, like, a textbook app run through the college where it's just all online and, like, auto updates the textbook so we have to rebuy it. Free updates. Or maybe, like, DLC updates. That'd be perfect. And then you wouldn't have to pay for new textbooks every fucking time.
I mean, they want you to pay for textbooks.
But that's stupid. Just make them pay for the DLC textbook update. Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. He went, ah! That is all.
He went, damn, that's some good wine.
He went,
That.
damn, I could go for some Del Taco right now. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting to the tomb to meet the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice. Fucking English-ass translation. While gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother, he had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed. Then he fired again, and missed. And the attacker let out a laugh. So what now, Mr. Wright? Well, it's up to us to knock holes in Rayfa's interpretation of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that our understanding of them could be mistaken. Okay, I'll give it a try. Well, here we go again. Alright, what's the big problem here? Around 3
You
p.m.
also
my
gotta
father
look
was-
through the
Yeah.
statements.
Grape juice. That wasn't great. It's sour. Wait. She's wrong. There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
Sour. Hold up.
I think that's just the translation.
Why would it be sour, though? Hold up.
Come on, man.
Maybe he was drunk, so he didn't see things properly, right?
It's grape juice.
Grape juice isn't sour.
It's the. I'm 99% sure it's literally just the localization.
Why would they change that but not change the taste to sweet?
I don't know, man.
Oh, these fuckers. Grape juice is not sour. Give me a minute. Very important check. Is grape juice sour?
Oh my god.
A major brand of American grape juice, Welch's, is made from Concord grapes. Small amounts of citric acid is naturally found in grapes and may be added for tart taste. That's bullshit. Grape juice is not sour. It's like maybe the slightest bit sour, but that is not the first thing you think of when you drink. Anyway, continue, please. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice.
Well,
It's a man's voice. Okay. Wait a minute.
yeah, what's up?
Oh. I was wondering why I had no arms. This is a mannequin. This isn't Dirk. This is a mannequin. It's a faceless mannequin, like what you would put clothing on. So Dirk was knocked out. They took his clothes. They put blood on it to make him see this. He shot the mannequin. And she's like laughing in the background. Pretty confident on that.
One way or another, can't currently be proven.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a mannequin, though. Have we seen a mannequin anywhere in the case?
No.
That's really annoying. There's incense in every single one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Um...
Which of these would be the most convenient for us to prove wrong right now?
The grape juice, it's actually wine. Probably not hearing Dirk's voice, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's his man's voice.
Right.
Dirk has a feminine voice. A dragon never yields. No, he's pretty man. He even has the Dragonator voice. So
Yeah,
it's
but you can sometimes this is less about an objection and like more about clarification.
Yeah.
Objection!
Even though he says objection.
Your benevolence, there seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretation. An inconsistency where? Minister Inga is far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. Yeah, he was waiting for Dirk to come by and exchange. So if he heard Dirk's voice, he'd be like, what the fuck? When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the founder.
I guess that's also true.
Yeah, that's more crazy. That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the Founder's Orb. But when he heard that voice, he didn't even turn to look. Is he like a villain? Is he like a maniacal cat-petting villain? Do you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? Then whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like a friend.
But there was no third party at the scene of the crime.
My husband has no friends.
Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dirk.
The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb, huh? Paula, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of this mysterious orb? You know, I think we do. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. With it, we might just be able to figure out whose voice it was. I believe we can identify the male voice Minister Inga had with this. Where's his phone? Is his phone even evidence?
It's not evidence on its own.
I guess just like where his body is. Do you have his body somewhere? No.
You have his body.
Here we go. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. That's my father's. I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us towards the identity of the voice. You do know that like 95% of people have cell phones, right? You don't have to actually point it out. You can just say he had a cell phone. This is the real source of the man's voice. The gun. His gun talks. It's a blood weapon. Click it. Here we go. A cell phone? Right. I believe that the voice the minister heard was of a call on this cell phone. This cellophane. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Was your eminence's view on the matter? What is your eminence's view on the matter, Blit?
I concede the possibility.
Then it seems I must refine my vision. Enhance the vision.
Yeah, I knew they CSI Miami did, but I didn't realize, like, I didn't think about the him not reacting thing.
It appears that the voice belongs to one of my father's subordinates. This would definitely be a lot cooler in a game with voice acting.
Yeah, it would.
Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them then? And you know, honestly, like, funnily enough, this is one of the games where I really don't mind that it has no voice acting too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be fine with it if they added it. There's very few games that I'd be against them adding voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise. I know, Barbed Head. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty. It just, like, stealth revises the one to make it whine. Good thing no one pointed that out. I would have felt really stupid. So the voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. But there might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Let's take another look at Rayfa's insights and really focus on the various sensations. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. It's a fucking bottle of wine. Anyway. Just present my badge. Oh, my badge is honored. That is a fucking bottle of wine. Let it go. No. Hold on. Pause that. Took a call at the palace. Okay. So we need to probably use that.
Hit play for a second.
Why the fuck is there a warbad?
That's a little odd. I hate to break it to your benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. Why did you not add that in the first place? I just thought that's what Dirk sounded like. What do you mean? Again. Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. Well, let me rephrase that, your benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to his subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory. What do you mean by that? A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claimed the call was with someone at the palace, but actually he was talking to a bird. No one would ever do that in a serious setting.
Right.
Yeah, Apollo. Yeah, that's right. No, the only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog.
That's me.
Wait,
Remember the
that giant
frog
one
guy
in
from
front of
the
the minister's
audience?
house is her pet?
An hour ago.
It's me, Kermit the Frog, here. Besides, there are any lions in Korean. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually something hanging out in the bazaar. Isn't that the cry of the warbod over at the bazaar? The only warbod that exists, apparently. Even though it's your national bird and they're all over the fucking place. Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision. What's this? Just as I suspected. It was the call of a warbod. That means the subordinate minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. Unless you have palace birds. Why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have? She's right. It is important to know where the call was made. It's very important. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in that area. Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rayfa the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound? What is that? It's Albie's guide. I'll be your guides. Oh my god. I'll be your guide statement. In this,
Fuck you too, Apollo.
he claims that that's horrible. Threw a firecracker at him while I was at the bazaar. Then, yep, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding.
And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that?
Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged?
No, I have none.
Wait a second. That loud bang was a firecracker. And could that laugh at the end have been... No, it can't be. Oh, it can. And it is. The laugh came from none other than... That's horrible. The Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. The happy-go-lucky, that's horrible! What? Someone should really put a leash on that guy. Phoenix, I know you've been told that before.
Mr. Wright only makes that face when he's backed into a corner. Okay, but why does bro know that?
I shudder to think how one man could be the cause of so much trouble. Hey there, AJPW. You can thank me later. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Horrible. Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight?
It would appear so. Hey, why don't you revise that part where it says 2 p.m.? Oh, I have to pull that out myself? Okay. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rayfa's insights again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. Wait a minute.
But yeah,
So if this all happened at like 2, she could channel Inga and continue the call and the talks and shit.
now you're thinking with gas.
Yes. So now shit's getting silly. Woof, woof. Do I need to point out the dog bark? Does that really matter?
No.
Okay.
I think you've already hit the nail on the head.
I just need to know where to like hit this.
It would be a sense that has to like that correlates with you know, the event that we know was at 2 p.m. So not any of these. Not here. No, you didn't miss it yet. Well,
It's such a short explosion.
me trying to find the text of the YouTuber flashed for half a second.
Yeah. It's not that short, but
Objection!
this is the problem. Your benevolence, there's a glaring problem with this insight. There is. You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we now know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence.
I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.?
Everything Albie was talking about.
I'll be your guide statement again.
Yep, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and entered the palace courtyard. Also, Phoenix Wright can suck my nuts.
Haha, that's an accurate impression.
Around 2 p.m.?
That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m.
Are you suggesting?
Uh-huh. I think you know where I'm going with this. Dad's laugh, the cry of the warbod, the bang of the firecrackers. They were all right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3, as we'd all originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. Punka?
How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? When is the law ever wrong about anything?
What? Oh no, her nails! Now you see why justice will always
Those
prevail.
took 15 years to grow.
I think they were fake.
15 years.
Peace. Peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that?
I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Without a face, you can't be certain of who it was.
Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision was from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him.
So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference?
Wait, 2 o'clock? That's when... My mother was performing the rite of channeling.
The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rites. Don't tell me.
The royal residence. It would have been virtually unguarded. Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb.
Defense? Are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused?
That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty.
Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been as clear as day.
The fuck are you talking about? Like, every single one of her visions has bad subterfuge. What the... It's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why? Palo. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold, because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. What? It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes, and stand square in front of Inga, precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it? That's terrifying. That's not real, right?
Yeah, that's real.
You can't see their fucking face?
You can, you can, like... They don't represent it well here. You can, like, see, you know, their eyes and mouth and shit, but you can't differentiate faces.
Okay, that's real. I mean, that's like... Isn't that, like, also something with autism?
I don't know. There might be correlation.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm fucking awful with faces. I'll recognize people, obviously, but, like, names and faces I'm just awful with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with, like, seeing faces. I can't really, like, picture a face well, but if I see someone's face and I know the person, then I'm like, oh, it's that person.
But when it comes to Pokemon, you know, I'm really good at remembering.
Yeah, well, if it comes to Pokemon, I can name all fucking 1,000, but...
Yeah, that's the problem. I think instead of actually, like, having that part of our brain cordoned off for people, we just have it cordoned off for Pokemon.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Oh, that's depressing. Are you
No,
saying
it's not. Pokemon are cool.
Yeah, they're
I
pretty cool.
I like 1,000 Pokemon. I don't like 1,000 people.
I guess that's true. Wait, no, you don't like 1,000 Pokemon. You
I don't like
Emboar.
1,000. I like 900.
There's like...
There's not more than 100 Pokemon that I would look at and feel negatively about.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many Pokemon I feel negatively about. There's a lot that I don't feel much about.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah. I can't even think of like 10 I'd feel super negatively about. Haxorus is one of them.
Let's see. Pignite, Emboar, the whole fucking Gothorita line.
Oh, you don't like Gothitelle?
I mean, the final evolution is okay, but it's still like, and then let's see.
Gen 5 Pokemon, Gen 5 Pokemon, Gen 5 Pokemon.
I mean, I actually like a lot of Gen 5 ones, but
I do as well.
oh yeah, fucking Patrat and Watchog, get the fuck out of here.
I quite, you know, everyone shits on Patrat and Watchog, but like, They get Hyper Fang early.
Okay, three more. I can think of three more. I don't like.
The monkeys.
Yeah.
You know,
there
actually,
go.
come up with something that's not a Gen 5 Pokemon that you dislike.
Okay.
How about the Stonehenge one?
I think that's all right.
How about the fucking Flamingo?
I think that's fine. I mean, it's the obvious answer, but Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mom's okay. I mean, he's
it's a
supposed to be
man.
weird and off-putting. I think most of the Gen 4 evolutions of Gen 2 and Gen 1 Pokemon look shit. Like, Rhyperior's fine. Dusknoir is actually a killer.
Oh, you know what? Chestnut.
I like the idea of Chestnut, but boy, using him in Gen 6 is a fucking misery.
I like the idea that they did with like the tank mage rogue, but man, does Chestnut so fucking ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life. Okay. Let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But if you're wondering about how that proves that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show this to the court? Yeah, I believe I do, actually. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look over the evidence again.
What explains the killer?
It's, where is it? It's around here somewhere. Yeah, here we go.
A notepad?
Yeah, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answers we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. It's a good thing he lives in an anime game, so everyone wears the same clothes every day.
Yeah.
And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer?
The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga had seen. Wait a minute.
Huh.
Hold up. I just thought of something.
Yeah, what's up?
Long hair, eye patch, blue clothes. Well, he didn't have an eye patch on in the vision, so that's already a little bit silly.
He did.
Oh, he did in the vision?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess that's fine. That doesn't matter. The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. Oh yeah, no, there is an eye patch. Okay. It is he who we saw as the person, as the killer, as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him.
What's this?
I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being, and why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me. Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had a disorder, didn't you? Oh, hey, your nails grew back. I'm glad.
It took 15 seconds.
That's a cool superpower.
It is my stand. He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there is no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. I hope I did that right.
I think that's right. So Mr. Wright was right. Wow. The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do not appear strange at times.
Do appear strange.
Do appear strange. There is precedence for this. So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right, so there's someone who's both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's afflictions. Your Eminence? Who knew about your husband's condition? Everyone. What do you mean?
A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me.
So not Dirk, right?
Wink, 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 wink.
Surely you are not about to insinuate that I committed this crime.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Evidently,
Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it? Garan has an alibi, remember? No, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. Unless that was a Marin that she was, In that case, Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder?
of course she does. She is our head servant.
Well then. So as the head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition. And as the princess's personal attendant, she's familiar with the divination seance. And these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect. I really don't know what would.
You witless lawyer. How quick you are to forget the facts.
Facts like... You're a bitch?
When Inga was last seen alive, you claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rayfa saw him at 2:30.
Ah. I did completely forget about that. No, well, there must be some sort of mistake.
So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m., the hour Dirk entered the tomb. There is no other answer to this puzzle.
Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garan makes up laws? Gets us back to square one. Where did we go wrong? I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deduction so far explains everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. I see. Without that final puzzle piece, all our deductions fall apart. Paulo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, alright? Let's see. It'd be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead? Like a way to make people witness the living dead? Okay, come on, guys. Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life, do they? Apollo, did you just... I did! I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. You give them a can of Monster. You give them a can of Panera Bread lemonade.
I was literally gonna say that, yeah.
Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong at all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how.
I certainly hope you will, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was in fact someone a ghost or a clone. Shadow clone jutsu. It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence.
Channeled, you say? What already?
That's right, and there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Kureen. Her Eminence Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister.
It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime.
Well, that certainly would be convenient, you know.
Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence, we were in the line at Del Taco. I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too.
The fuck? When did this shit happen?
At 2:30 p.m.
Nita has to keep up with her schedule, too? What doesn't she make him do? Am I right? Canned laughter.
The old ball and chain.
And that leaves only Maya. Well, sorry, Phoenix. In order to save my dad. She's been accused so many times. Yeah, it does.
What's another?
Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power towards nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. That cannot be. I mean, I'm guessing at this point that Amara can also channel, right?
I think because she used to be the queen, and to be the queen, you have to be able to channel.
Yeah. They're probably pretty similar to each other. So they could, like, fill in. So then Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet thinking he just had a nightmare. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead.
Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running. Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime? How can this be?
The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the oh, right, she's knocked out. Go wake her up.
I'll get the smelling salts.
No, that only cures paralysis for some reason. Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness?
It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth.
I genuinely think the only reason it combos with smelling salts is so that in the next game they could add in Palm Strike or whatever the fuck it's called.
Wake up slap.
No, wake up slap does sleep, and then there's smelling salts which does paralysis, which is really stupid. But actually, smelling salts was introduced in Gen 3. I really don't know what the combo is supposed to be. Maybe in doubles?
He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments.
Insult me all you want, witch. But you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth.
Very well, let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. Bang.
Hey, there's part 1 of 3.
What was that you were saying about us being able to get this all done?
I said it was theoretically possible, okay? Then we started you started looking up if fucking grape juice is sour or not.
That's definitely what killed the time. High
It was
Court
one of many factors.
of Korean. Accused lobby. Is that a fishbowl?
Talk about some really close shaves. I just got out of there with my life and my kidney.
How'd you
Long
manage
story.
that one? Oh, okay. Do you finally have your fucking passport?
What? Oh. Oh my god, how did I forget? I'll see you later, Apollo.
Well, you can't get a closer shave than Headsman's brand blades, that's for sure. At least stick
I
around
was
to banter
on the
with us.
operating table.
Trial's not even over yet, and I'm already exhausted.
Still, you were able to fight back the queen herself in there, or so I heard.
Oh, maybe with Miss Faye's help, I won't have to keep on playing her game much longer. Speaking of which, I guess it's a little late to be asking, but do you think she's well enough to testify, Mr. Wright? She slept all day out of exhaustion, apparently. Well, that's all it was, so she should be okay. Barbed head, horn head.
Wow, lucky guess that was Rayfa, huh?
Oh, hello, you're benevolent. It's just Maya. Princess Rayfa, you were really impressive in there.
I am the royal priestess Rayfa Padma Kurain. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground. And in doing so, you fulfilled your duty as the royal priestess. It was all thanks to you and your friends. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path. So, you have my gratitude. Can you call us by our names now?
No.
Oh, don't mention it. I know, I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like? A cow? A horse? I don't know, we could use a cow around the office, couldn't
A
we? Phoenix?
kidney, please.
Or perhaps I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage.
Oh.
I guess you could give Athena a passport.
Yeah. No, please.
Just kidding. That's okay, your benevolence. Your
What the
gratitude's
hell,
more than enough,
Apollo?
thanks.
I'm gonna die.
But I thought you Americans liked massages. My technique was highly praised by my father, I'll have you know.
Are you lawyers, or is he accused?
Huh? Dirk. That's a good question, Mega Man.
Huh, pull a big time, AJ.
That's...
Shut up, you.
What's going on?
This scoundrel tried to escape with the accused.
What?
We're able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where you hide him, you miscreant? I keep telling you, I got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together, but I lost track of him after that.
So Dirk's on the lam now.
Probably, but who knows? He vanished in a blink of an eye.
Vanished.
You want to know something, AJ? Dirk said to me, I can't put Amara in danger. I have to set her free before it's too late.
Don't tell me he's going to rescue her.
But that's what I am telling you. So I helped him to escape in the first place.
Mr. Wright, didn't you have a case where you defended, like, your best friend and your other best friend and some, like, really nice guy who worked in a movie once? And then your best friend again? What the fuck am I... Who am I defending?
Your dad, Apollo?
Yeah, but, like, look at what the fuck my dad's doing, man! Do you realize what you've done? Well, what's done is done. Still, why did he choose to go rescue her now?
Maybe he didn't want to die without any regrets or something. You know, just in case he ended up on the chopping block.
Why, Dirk? I thought you believed in me.
No, don't be like that, AJ. He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara. You'll see.
That's not the point, Dats.
Listen, lawyer. You let us know immediately if the accused contacts you. Trial will now resume. Say that you are ready.
Wait, the trial's still on, even without the defendant?
Those were Her Eminence's orders, so you will return to the courtroom at once.
Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads. Do you think it was also Her Eminence's orders to have Trial 5 shoved together in such a haphazard way with, like, 3 trials?
That's probably what happened, yeah.
Now then, let us resume the trial at hand.
Hey, Your Majesty, my client seems to have gone missing. Completely.
What do you think, Your Eminence? Shall we proceed without the accused?
Why not? My royal guard is searching for him as we speak. They shall find him soon enough, for they would not dare to keep me waiting.
Well, yes, but what about the law governing court proceedings? God damn it.
Then I shall simply revise it.
She's gonna, like, write herself into a corner with one of these.
As ruling sovereign of Karain, I proclaim the following.
Del Taco is our national industry.
Also, should the accused be an enemy of the crown, they may be tried in absentia.
Well, in that case, I guess there's no problem with proceeding. Will the witness, Miss Mayafe, please approach the stand?
Leg shot? Not leg shot.
You wish.
Sorry to summon you like this, Maya.
Getting dragged out of bed and into court is not exactly a fun wake-up call, Nick.
By the way, we're gonna die, Maya, unless you do something.
What?
What else is new? I'm sorry,
It's
Miss
actually
Faye.
pretty new.
It was my idea.
And you are?
Oh, right. I'm Apollo Justice. It's nice to finally meet you.
Oh, so you're Apollo. Nick's told me all about you. You're the new guy with the loud voice and a bit of an unreliable streak, right?
Unreliable. Well, that was 2 years ago. You've come a long way since then.
So why was I called here anyway? Am I under arrest again?
Well, that's a pretty good assumption. Huh? I guess no one's filled her in. Well, she has been asleep this entire time. Miss Faye, this is a trial for Dirk Sagmati, and you're here as a witness.
What? Dirk's been arrested?
Wow, it's been a long time since we've seen, like, her front-on facial expressions in 3D. Actually, is this the first time in 3D?
I mean, we saw them. No, I think she was on the witness stand. In case 3.
I guess she was. It's not exactly the reaction I was expecting. Miss Faye, you're suspected of playing a part in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. God damn it.
What?
Someone allegedly forced you to channel the minister to obfuscate the time of his murder. At least that's what the defense claims.
Wait, what? How could you, Apollo? How did you even reach that conclusion?
Sorry, but it's the only way this whole case makes any sense. Your understandable anger at the defense aside, will you testify, Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Majesty.
What else is new?
I don't have any idea what's going on, but I know I didn't channel Minister Inga. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that. Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. Though I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
What does that mean, Maya? Seems the witness doesn't believe she's ever channeled Justice Minister Inga.
And if her words prove to be true, defense, your entire argument becomes moot. You do understand that, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Doesn't seem like Miss Faye is lying. Hey, Apollo. I was being awfully secretive about something just now. Well, then I guess I better dig up a bit and try and find out and get her to open up first. It is justice time. Hey, you've been asleep ever since you were rescued from the tomb, right?
I was exhausted after being held captive for so long.
That must have been terrible for like the 7th time. My Minister Inga didn't do anything to you, did he?
Oh, no, it wasn't like that. On the contrary, I asked him for all sorts of things.
Like, what?
Like, I'm really craving burgers, and I'll die if I miss an episode of The Plumed Punisher. Acting like a brat netted me a TV and even a few burgers from someplace. He was surprisingly nice to me.
Are you sure we're talking about the same guy here?
He may have loomed large, but he was unexpectedly easy to push around. Even though he's the one who was responsible for pushing those execution papers through. Oh, that? Approving executions was simply his preferred method of stress relief.
With a wife like her, he was probably really needing to push them through out of fear. I'm beginning to see why he wanted to stage a coup.
In any case, my time in captivity wasn't so bad. But of all the things that happened... I know I didn't channel Minister Inga.
Are you sure about that? Maybe you just don't remember channeling him.
Don't remember? I may be 28, but I'm not senile, you know.
Please don't say lines like that. Ugh. I feel that. Something's not right here. She is senile. What is she talking about? 28 is ancient.
It's like a senior citizen, yeah.
It's like, it's the exact same shit that,
Yeah.
that Kaika's going through. Miss Faye, you were confined to Amara's tomb the whole time, is that correct? Except she's 29 now, so she's practically halfway in the grave.
Yes, but I wasn't conscious the whole time.
Okay, then let me ask you something. Did you ever see Nana in the tomb, dressed as Dirk?
Huh? Is this some kind of joke? I think I'd remember if I saw something as crazy as that.
Plus, I doubt anyone would carry out a crime like that right in front of a potential witness. I hate when he's right. You didn't have a chance to channel him. Does channeling someone take a long time?
Not really. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty much instantaneous. But I was all tied up, literally. So there was no way for me to make the channeling mudra with my hands to do it.
Do you literally have to do, like, fucking hand signs like Naruto? Right.
Kind of an offensive way to put it, Nick, but Yeah.
I guess she really didn't channel Inga then. When mediums are done with the session, they can send the spirit back to the other world themselves, right?
Sure, unless they're still in training. Amateurs can get possessed by spirits sometimes, but full-fledged mediums can stay in total control of a session. They can send the deceased spirit away anytime they want.
So I take it you can do that too, Miss Faye?
Of course. It's a cinch for the new and improved Mystic Maya Fey, Ace Spirit Medium.
That's strange. Seemed like the same old childish Maya to me.
Ugh, I'll show you, childish Nick.
So you wouldn't channel spirits for unseemly purposes? What the fuck does that mean?
Of course not. Spirit channeling is my bread and butter. And I take a lot of pride in my work. It's like, would you use your legal skills to commit a crime, Apollo?
Well, until finger pointing object and become deadly, I don't see how they can be used.
Wow, you're a regular Mr. Smarty Pants, just like Nick. Always at the ready with some sarcastic comeback.
I think I'll save my many objections for after the trial. Yes, please. Jack, please.
Anyway, I never go along with something like murder. Oh, I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
Like if Emma Faye wanted you to murder someone?
I would do it loudly.
Sounds to me like you're trying to hide something, Miss Faye.
Anyone teach you about respecting boundaries, Apollo? It's really rude to pry into a person's private affairs.
Sorry, I didn't realize. What? Okay, I channel spirits to get their secret burger recipes. Sue me. Wait, we're in a court of law.
Yeah, I know.
Then what was all that about me being rude? I'm just doing my job! So please just tell me, what exactly are you hiding?
Sorry, but I promised Dirk I wouldn't say.
You made a promise to Dirk?
Mm-hmm. A pretty big one.
I think this is about all you're gonna get out of her. Yeah.
Enough. The witness is denying that she channeled any spirits. Further questioning is pointless. It appears your little fiction has been soundly exposed for what it is.
Actually, it's a very big
all
fiction.
You should listen to her, Apollo.
My
I don't
fiction
even
is
know
big
why
and
you
wonderful.
suspected me in the first place. I mean, you don't have any evidence of me channeling Minister Inga, do you?
Well, evidence, huh?
There's no point in even thinking about it, really. I don't use anything special to channel spirits, so there wouldn't be anything left behind.
That's true. Just like when she channeled the High Priest, all Maya needs is her own body.
If the defense has no evidence to offer, I will have to end this cross-examination.
Now, even if she doesn't use any special items to do the channeling itself, you'd think there'd be something to complete the deception.
Is there any proof that Justice Minister Inga was channeled?
You bet there is. You bet there is.
Really?
Well, I don't know.
You're bluffing, I take it.
I'll be fine.
For right, then there must be some sort of proof to back us up. Time to do some serious thunkin'. Apollo Justice style. Okay, we know that when Rayfa saw her father, he wasn't dressed like Miss Faye, right? Right, because if he was, Rayfa would have immediately known he was being channeled. So that means he was dressed in his usual suit with Rayfa when we saw him. Aha! Good thinking, Apollo. This might be the perfect angle to attack from.
Alright, let's have an answer from the defense. What proof do you have that Miss Maya Fey channeled Justice Minister Inga?
I think it might be the button.
It is
Wait.
part of his outfit.
It is part of his outfit. I guess it was left behind. Oh, so I guess if we just check the body, there might be, like, no button it would have been ripped off from.
Is that a gemstone?
Actually, we found this among the ashes of one of the tomb's incense burners. Does this gemstone ring any bells, Your Eminence?
What? What was that doing in the tomb?
Ah, so you do recognize it. But then as his wife, how could you not recognize this gemstone button from your husband's jacket?
I don't get where you're going with this.
Channeling Minister Inga alone would not have been enough to fool someone like Princess Rayfa, especially if you were wearing your clothes. So you would have had to change into the minister's clothes before channeling him.
Ah!
Miss Fey used the minister's clothing as cover while going from the room to the tomb, where you burned them once you no longer needed them.
What?
Oh, she seems genuinely surprised by that, Apollo.
Miss Fey. Yes? Do you know my husband's name? It was, Inga Karkul Karaim, right? That is correct, in part, but there's more, much more. Inga Karkul Hauko Disnam Biani Laga Ormofotsakarin the Third.
So you can't channel him. Got him.
That is his true name.
Well, gee, all we have to do now is prove that he really was channeled, and then you're basically it. Wait, shit. Could it be any longer? Jugemu. This is a good line out of context.
Length. Only a portion of it was ever made public.
Yeah, you cut out there from the internet blip, but
Yes.
it's a funny line in like out of context.
Oh, sure. So, Miss Fey, did you know his true name? No, I mean, how could I? Precisely. Yet a medium must know both the face and true name of the one she seeks to channel.
So then, Miss Fey couldn't have channeled Minister Inga.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. How would I want to randomly channel some old guy I didn't know? And didn't like, thanks to that last trial.
Well, I can't believe this. Apollo. I really don't think Maya's lying. However, your line of reasoning still seems credible to me. I agree, but there's something tripping us up in the details. Maybe we're working off the wrong assumption again.
Apollo? I was thinking,
Yeah?
since I didn't channel Minister Inga, is it possible that someone else did?
Someone else. But who else could it have been?
I haven't thought that far yet. Such chatter is without merit. Let us move on, shall we?
Ugh. I don't care what Garan says. I'm gonna figure this out. If it wasn't Miss Fey and the Queen had an alibi, then... Apollo, forget who's capable of channeling spirits for a second. I should consider the circumstances around the channeling, right? Right. You know, Rayfa saw his father come running out of his private quarters. If he was being channeled at the time, who could it have been? It had to have been someone who was in Inga's private quarters.
Well, I'm waiting, Defense, and you know how much I despise waiting.
Yeah, but there's someone else besides Miss Fey who could have channeled Minister Inga. There is just one more person, and they were in Inga's private quarters. This person's our only hope now.
So the defense believes there was another. Let's have your very serious answer, then.
With pleasure. Oh boy, just kill me immediately if I'm wrong.
Horned Devil. Who could have channeled Minister Inga?
Trucy right! Dang it, you got it.
Yeah, so when you have an answer, I could just, I can be the check for you, so we don't have to, deal with the game.
Sheban and the... I guess Nana. Nana would be it, which would confirm my theory that Nana was... What's her name? Amara.
I mean, she was in the private quarters. Nana.
Nana. You haven't said it yourself.
That's right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters.
How do you know?
It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana.
And then there's her benevolence's statement. She said that Nana disappeared right after she entered Minister Inga's private quarters. The room from which Minister Inga himself came running out of not long afterward.
You are not seriously suggesting...
It's the only thing that makes sense. Nana channeled Minister Inga and left his private left his private quarters thereafter. And that's why no one's seen her since. And why only the minister's shoe prints were found outside his residence.
Ah, no way!
That's gotta be it. Nana must have somehow channeled the minister. Oh, we wouldn't even get a Maya leg shot. I forgot she was wearing a big blouse. All the circumstantial evidence has fallen into place. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't claim Nana isn't connected to this case anyhow. In light of this, the defense calls Nana to the stand from wherever she happens to be.
Well, Your Eminence.
Very well, then. Let us call Nana to testify.
Yeah. Now we can finally crack this case wide open. Fuck.
Let us adjourn while the witness is summoned.
There is no need. Nana is in the waiting lobby.
Wait, what? Nana's here? Thought she'd gone missing.
It seems she was feeling unwell and simply wished to rest undisturbed. But her concern for Rayfa brought her here today.
She took her time off without Rayfa's knowledge of consent? I'm betting there's more here to the disappearing act than meets the eye, Apollo.
I believe when we first saw her, you were like, I hope that there's like something crazy with her later. So, I was just sitting there like, he doesn't know.
Miss Nana, do you understand why you've been summoned here today?
She has a
I'll do
face.
the voice so that it's less of you talking to yourself during the testimony.
Sure.
Yes, of course. Her evidence has informed me that this man here suspects I have committed a crime.
So this is Nana, huh? That's quite the hairdo.
Though I will say... I suppose I'm not as old as I had thought. If this horn-headed nincompoop would take me for a criminal.
Nincompoop. Isn't that Rayfa's favorite insult? I guess Nana's rubbed off on her with all that time they spend together.
You there, young hornhead.
Yes.
You're accusing me of slaying Minister Inga and channeling his spirit, yes?
How's there that much dust on this table when it's gotten the most use it's gotten in the past 4
That
weeks?
was my crack cocaine.
Oh. I guess you really aren't that young, huh, Grandma?
What an active imagination you have. Young folk are so wonderfully open-minded.
Alright, is it crack cocaine or not? Haha. Thanks. Just take the compliment, Justice.
Now then, will the witness please proceed with her testimony off crack? Court wishes to know what you did or did not channel Mr. Inga in his private quarters. I'm no spirit medium, Sonny.
I was feeling under the weather yesterday and decided to rest these weary bones. Besides which, a lowly servant such as I could not possibly be an honorable spirit medium. Only members of the royal family can learn the art of spirit channeling here in Kureen. After Queen Amara's passing, Her Eminence, Queen Garan, is the only spirit medium left. If you believe a medium to be the culprit, it would have to be that young lass Maya Fey.
And there you have it. It seems we have summoned her for nothing. Only those of the royal bloodline have the power of spirit channeling. That a servant such as Nena could channel spirits is a most unamusing jest.
On the surface, anyway. I think it's pretty funny. But our line of reasoning has led to us in the end that Nena channeled Inga's spirit. Alright, the defense may now question the witness. I guess the dog still has the hat.
Yep.
Okay then. What if you actually have royal blood in your veins, Nena? Like a distant relative or something.
I am from a line of humble fishermen, all the way back to my grandfather's grandfather. I've never heard talk of royal blood or noble ancestry.
Apollo, spirit channeling is a secret art passed down from mother to daughter. And even with the royal ancestry, it'd be impossible to learn without the right training.
It is as the Bobbed One says. It also must be mentioned that this secret art is only taught here in the Kingdom of Kureen and your country's Kureen village.
Why aren't things falling into place like I expected? I would ask the witness to continue her testimony. Hold up. Back up. Oop. Well, I guess we're pressing this one. Miss Fey was being held hostage. She was completely tied up and didn't even know Mr. Inga's true name, making it impossible for her to kill or channel him.
Bah, I know nothing of that.
Listen, you horned devil. Were you not just insisting that it was Maya Fey who had channeled Minister Inga? My, how quickly you change your tune.
No, I'm just quick on my feet with new information presenting itself. I'm also quick to force my biggest smile when times like these demand it. Ahem. It's great you're following my advice, Apollo. But try not to look so forced while you do it, would you? Nana's right about one thing, though. Only those of the royal bloodline can be spirit mediums in Kureen. Common folks like us are out of luck. Yeah, I guess so. Still. I think I'll finally be close to connecting all the dots once I point out this very big thing. Queen Amara was the victim of an assassination, right? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, she was a beautiful, gentle soul, but she fell in love with a man of dubious origins, and was murdered in a terrible blaze. Fate can be so cruel.
That's a really cool plotline for a Fire Emblem game. Yes, it's called Fire Emblem 7. Ah, shit. Never mind. Except she's actually still alive. Poor Nana yet again. Oh my goodness. Poor Nana's yet another follower unwittingly praying over an empty sarcophagus. Amara, the queen has been locked away in her existence in this world erased. But the fact that she's still alive shackles Neuda to Garon's will. Neuda, The only reason you're still standing there by that woman's side is because you're afraid of what would happen to Amara otherwise, right?
We need not recount such ancient history. Let us continue with the witness's testimony.
Do we just prove it here?
I mean, she's saying that Amara is dead, but we know Amara is alive, so... Sounds like a good contradiction to me.
Yeah.
Objection!
Here we go. Okay. So I presented what makes sense in terms of a direct contradiction. Except I don't really know how to make it make sense in the larger context of this case. Well, is the defense going to follow up on the loud objection with a sound explaining? Oh, sorry. How do I put this? I believe there's a problem with Nana's testimony. Go on. She asserted that she could not possibly be a spirit medium because, in Korean, only members of the royal family can learn how to channel spirits. I fail to see the problem in that statement, defense. Oh, hold on. I'm getting to it, Your Majesty. What if I told you? Nana stated an absolute falsehood. Since we know that Amara is still alive, at the same time, circumstantial evidence points to Nana channeling Inga. After all, just after she entered his private quarters. See, this is the difference between Phoenix, Wright, and, like, Edgeworth. Edgeworth, the second he learns the truth, he just has, like, this huge boner to, like, release it immediately.
Yeah.
Inga came running out screaming, despite having been killed at 2 p.m. That would mean that Nana channeled Inga. Even though supposedly only those of the royal family are capable of doing so. Wait. Is it too late to ask for a refund on my trip down the rabbit hole? Mr. Wright, you may think I've lost my mind with this bluff, but if I can at least establish the possibility, I think it'll give us a break we need. Wait a sec. Are you going to propose what I think you are? Yep. It's a huge risk, but I think there's a chance I can prove it. Anyway, Your Honor, will the court please take a look at this photo? Oh, it's pretty funny.
That's...
This photo's very existence, to say nothing of the person in it, contradicts the witness's claim that Queen Garan is the only remaining spirit medium in Karain. You're not gonna believe.
Horned devil, you mustn't!
Oh, but I must. Under the circumstances, the outcome of this trial depends on it. But you already knew that, didn't you, Your Eminence? Will the defense please explain who's shown in the photograph? Yeah, the person in this photograph is, the previous queen, Amara Sigatar Kareen. Contrary to popular belief, her death was greatly exaggerated. In fact, she's very much alive. He just, like, climbs under the desk and just hides. What? But that's nonsense. Take a good look at the law book in the photo, Your Majesty. The mark of the dragon branded on it. Could only really have been placed there after Queen Amara's supposed assassination. What's Photoshop? She could literally just say it was Photoshopped.
I think they don't have, like... reasonable Photoshop in this world. Considering they have, like, fucking...
Is the lore gone mad? While I personally find it hard to believe, I will allow the defense to continue. You may proceed, defense. He says, thinking of all the times he's gone up to the tomb to pray.
Yeah.
Queen Amara's death was staged to keep her safe from her would-be killer. Yet according to Dirk, she's actually being held captive somewhere. But the real truth is that Queen Amara is not being held in confinement. Rather, she walks freely among us. The sound of you moving to go to your sound pad. Here in this very courtroom today. But no. He's much more upset about the Among Us reference.
Yeah, that's true. Do not be deceived, your majesty.
Deceiver.
Among Us has not been funny for 3 years! The Red Pepper is skilled in weaving plausible lies.
The Red Pepper? That's what I think the Among Us dude is. Kind of.
Death. It is the cunning lawyerly art known as bluffing.
That's also a thing you do in Among Us.
Quite sus, might I add. But knowing this, there is no need to fear his forked tongue.
He stabs his tongue out to kill people!
For he is the imposter.
That's where you're wrong, prosecutor, because you'll be quaking in your boots soon enough.
Is that so?
It's my turn, Neuda, to wake you up in the truth right before your eyes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Queen Amara is still very much alive and has been disguising herself as Trucy Wright.
Right!
I'm sorry, she's just the first one I see every time I open up the logbook.
Yeah.
But that's... This is the simplest and cleanest explanation for everything we've covered so far. Like that one song, Simple and Clean. The person who killed Minister Inga. Someone with intimate knowledge of the divination seance. The medium who channeled the minister in order to mask the real time of his death. Condense these traits into one person, you get a spirit medium of royal blood. And that person is none other than you, Nana. Your true identity is the former Queen Amara, and the killer we've been looking for all along. What?
Have you finally lost your mind, Mr. Justice?
You've asked that question about 18 times by now. I think my mind is long past gone.
What you say is beyond blasphemous, even in the depths of hell.
Oh my, such frightening allegations.
Indeed, and absolutely ludicrous to boot.
You think that's the most do you think if I, like, opened up Dream's Twitter, the most recent tweet would be that exact quote? Oh my, what frightening allegations.
That's right. That's me. I'm the fat, homophobic racist. Oh boy. Is that recent? Because I could have sworn he'd already, like, been called out for that, like, 2 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's unending.
Unbelievable. It's like that shit, like, 2 months ago with, what's his name? Or, like, a month ago with, Yandev.
Oh, sure.
That was the same thing, but different. And is actually Miss Nana here? You have truly gone off the deep end. You don't have to take my word for it. In fact, a certain someone can help me prove it. Your Eminence? If Queen Amara truly is dead, you should be able to channel her spirit right here, right now. Isn't that correct?
I simply do not want to. I can deny it no longer.
I am small.
The lawyer speaks the truth. Nena, the woman who stands here before us, is Amara, the former queen believed to have perished 23 years ago. You just like the face?
The only thing I can think about right now, and this is like the worst thought I can possibly think of.
Yeah.
This is actually like awful. This is like video ending.
I think I might be on the same page.
I'm
Let's
just
hear it.
imagining like this is terrible. I can't even say it.
No, man, I gotta hear it. You can DM it to me if you don't want to speak it.
I'm just imagining this face as she believes Dirk.
I didn't hear that.
I'm imagining this face as she fillets Dirk. Because it's Amara.
Wait, as she what?
Look at her face!
As she, what's the verb?
Fillets Dirk.
Oh. I mean, you know how I said we were maybe on the same page? I was imagining. You remember the face that fucking Paul Addison made?
Yeah.
The thing I said about that.
It's basically the same idea.
Yeah. I was thinking like same image, and then like she's the one watching that happen. See you guys in the next episode.
Yeah, that's for us, Nate. You can say it. You can finish the line. Finally. We've finally been cancelled. And because we're killers on the stand. Nena, no. Amara Sigatar Karain. Please drop the act and tell us what really happened. And please tell us if you're as attractive as your sister. That'd be awesome. And do it in like a really cool reveal style. That'd be awesome.
Oh, dearie me. I guess I shouldn't have underestimated the power of youth. Well done, young hornhead.
Wacky arm flailing, inflatable arm flying tube man! What the fuck?
I'm like a kakuna.
This is the most Naruto shit I've ever seen in my life. Whoa! Oh no, she's hot.
I was getting tired of masquerading as an old woman anyway. It has been far too long since I last greeted you, good people of Karain.
Her arm just does like this rotation.
Yeah. It is I, Amara Sigatar Karain, your former queen.
And now current airport trafficker. You're coming in. You're coming in. Queen Amara.
Now you're slow motion juggler. What? Ah.
Oh my god, you killed him.
Hey, he's still standing up over there.
I got better.
And I thought Garon's makeover was extreme. Can it really be true? You're alive and well?
It is true. I feel as if I have been called back from the Twilight Realm.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I fear I have caused all of you a great deal of distress.
What do you mean you feel you have?
Now, please watch my slow motion juggling. Amara. I'm sorry I was unable to keep your secret any longer. I hope you can forgive me. It is quite alright, Karan. I am safe now. For Dirk, that blackguard who threatened my life will be recaptured soon enough.
Okay, so this isn't the real Amara. There's like she's like the twin sister. There's a second Amara. And that's who Dirk's going to get. This is like her twin sister who's a jerk. There's like
This
three
is the
sisters.
imposter.
Yeah.
I need not conceal my identity any longer.
Queen Amara. What does this all mean? Were you not killed in that fire 23 years ago?
I barely escaped that blaze with my life. But though I survived, I knew that scoundrel would make further attempts on my life.
They almost had like the makings of a great story. Like, you know, it's just like two hot, attractive women like killing the men in their life and just ruling together, but they made them sisters, so just ruined it.
Yeehaw, brother, it's so much better.
There's a game that came out semi-recently.
Which game is that, Russ?
I believe it has something to do with Andy, and it has something to do with a Lele. Is that her name?
Wait, what? I actually don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
the tomb of someone and someone. The tomb of Andy and Lele. Yep, that's what it's called.
Is that?
It's
okay,
an adventure game. The Coffin of Andy and Lele. It's a game about a brother and a sister. It's it's an interesting game that people do like, but there is a fuck ton of controversy because they love each other, even though they're brother and sister.
See. Therefore, I staged my death and abdicated the throne to my dear younger sister, Garan.
It's kind of a hot meme right now. But the building of that great tomb, and disguising yourself as a lowly servant, why would you do such a thing?
Garan, you explain. I wished for her to be close at hand. It was the only way I felt I could protect her. And it was the best way to hide her from the eyes of the public. After all, who could conceive of Amara lowering her station to that of a servant?
Not me. She's got that right. Even Dirk thought Amara was being held captive in some far-off place. He never even guessed she was living as a servant right in plain sight. I still think that's bullshit.
I must say, a life dedicated to the servitude of others is not the least bit disagreeable. It is a quiet, humble existence, far removed from the tedium of regal duties. Ah, but those days of peace have ended. Look at my plate. And it's all because of you, Hornhead.
Is she ever gonna open her eyes? You
No.
consider yourself lucky if that's all this ends with.
If there is something you wish to say, then say it.
It doesn't matter who you are. You won't escape the crime you committed. The defense moves to indict you as Justice Minister Inga's real killer. Then you can be properly executed and killed for real. What's this? You would accuse Queen Amara of homicide? The Grand Priestess of Karanism? You can't do that. She's virtually a goddess in the eyes of her people. If you commit the crime, you better be ready to do the time. Or the death. Be you a priest, saint, queen, or god. It's kind of a fucking hard-hitting line. I've never met such an egalitarian person. Queen Amara, in your years disguised as Nena, you have learned about Minister Inga's disorder. So you knew he could dress in Dirk's clothes and forge a convincing seance vision. Isn't that right?
Oh, what a curious character you are. You would label me a murderer. I'll have you know the most dangerous law I ever wrote was the one that declares that if you don't have a passport, you get your kidney taken.
That was you bitch!
Me, the one who the people regarded as the reincarnation of the Holy Mother herself.
You may be a grand figure in Kuranism, but as a foreigner, you're just another suspect to me. Apollo, I don't think you should... Apollo, that's kind of a...
No, he meant like Apollo's the foreigner.
Yeah, I don't know, Apollo.
Really bad out of context line though. I'm sorry, Ellie. Can I read you this out of context line? But as a foreigner, you're just another suspect to me. She made a face.
Apollo. Come on, my guy. You're better than this. This is 2016.
2027 in canon.
Oh, jeez, it's even worse. Well, it's after Trump got reelected, so, you know.
No, don't say that. Come on. It would appear your words are not in jest. Am I to suffer the sullying of my good name with accusations of murder most foul?
Haha, reference. Please, Queen Amara, forgive his impudence. The lawyer knows not what he speaks.
Fear not, good magistrate, for this is the sacred hall of justice, Apollo Justice. Though I am a grand priestess, on this stand I am but a witness like any other. Huggy. I shall face his accusations with grace and benevolence.
She just, like, gets off the stand and goes over to him and starts kicking him.
Why are you so stupid? Kick, kick, kick.
Your compassion overfloweth your mercifulness. Can you kick me next? No.
Maybe. Oh, young lawyer. In my benevolence, I must warn you that your assertion suffers from a tragic flaw.
Huh? There's a flaw?
Nahida.
E.
Yes, your mercifulness.
E.
Who was present in the tomb when the murder was discovered? Dirk Sanmati, Maya Fey, and the victim, Minister Inga. I see. That is a fatal flaw indeed. It appears Queen Amara couldn't possibly have gone to the tomb as Minister Inga.
What? Why not?
Do not keep the defense waiting, Nahida. Explain how wrong he truly is. Yes, your mercifulness. Her benevolence, Princess Rayfa, saw Minister Inga enter the tomb around 2:30 p.m. Yet you, the defense, claim the person she saw was the minister being channeled by Queen Amara.
So she hid in the coffin. What the fuck?
However, if her mercifulness had channeled him and moved to the tomb, then once she was done channeling, Queen Amara would have re-emerged and been left stuck in the tomb.
She entered the sarcophagus. We've been over this.
Actually, we have not yet, technically.
Oh, yeah.
Had she tried to exit before you all
It
arrived?
was one of the first. Remember, like, the Kofagrigus line?
Well, so, yeah, I mean, we mentioned the thing, but then they were like, it couldn't be that, you idiot. And Apollo was like, oh, yeah.
But why? Why did we say it couldn't be?
I don't remember. I think because the idea was that Amara was still alive.
Okay.
So
well,
she, or, I mean,
okay.
was dead, rather.
I
so
guess
she
I
would
just
been
have to
in there.
reassert it.
Yeah, yeah. Princess Rayfa, who had been looking down upon the courtyard, would have seen her. However, her benevolence saw nothing of the sort.
Irk.
Sanmati.
Ow.
In conclusion, Queen Amara could not have left the tomb without being observed. And yet, was she there in the tomb when the murder was discovered, defense?
No. No, she wasn't.
Now do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Your flimsy claim has been uprooted like a sapling in a flood.
None. Ah.
Well, that was entertaining. Prosecutor Sanmati, assume the prosecution of this case and clear your mother's good name. You wish for me to take over? Yes, prosecute your father to save your mother. What a poignant fate you bear, but bear it you must. Are you ready? Yes, your eminence. And there you have it, your majesty. I shall watch the rest of the proceedings from the sidelines. I relinquish complete control of this sacred hall to your authority once more.
Why, thank you, Your Eminence. Now then, Your Mercifulness, your testimony, if you please.
So I think right here is where we should stop
Yep.
for time and pacing reasons.
Have I gotten through part 2 yet?
No. This is... like, you're like halfway-ish through part 2.
Okay, so like another good and long one, and we'll finish it.
Yeah. Part 3 also isn't, like, super long.
Yeah. But 3 hours. It's a solid chunk of time.
Yeah.
Another 3 hours and maybe we'll finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe sometime this week, next week. Something like that. Depends. Anyway, I'm out of here. Bye-bye, everybody.